Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are a nation in decline.
Experts are preparing for what is known as Disease X, or the next pandemic.
What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rise and Grind with Vince Tagliavia. I'm Vince Tagliavia. We're live with you every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time to discuss the news and events of the world. It is March 12th, 2024. Today's show is called Airline Safety Crisis and News. That's what we're talking about today. Welcome, one and all. I'm just checking, making sure I'm up here, firing on all cylinders with the live stream. I do apologize, but it looks like we're good across the board. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Kai. Thank you for tuning in. And good morning, Black Jester. How you doing, Forrest? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Pilled folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're gonna get right into it here. All right. So let's start with finance as usual. Gosh, what a day. We've got a lot to go through. So let's do it. Let's see here. So first, the markets overall are up. The S&P 500 is up 1%. The Dow is up 0.55%, and the NASDAQ is up 1.36% this morning. Gold down just over 1%. 1 percentage point, and it's worth $2,164. Silver's worth $24.33. Bitcoin still above 70,000. It's sitting at $72,014.98. That's after it had quite the rally. I guess it's been sitting over here at 71, 72 since yesterday morning. Where just 6 months ago it was $26,000, just about. So just put that into perspective. Wow, it's really holding that 72,000 price right now. So it's it's dipped down below it, but it seems to be holding for now. I expect it to be extremely volatile, and eventually I think either we may see higher highs, right? But I think we're going to see a large pullback eventually, but in the long term, I think the price is just going to go up and up. Anyway, markets are up, but we've got CPI data, and it wasn't good. It was below what was expected, but the markets are still performing well, believe it or not. I mean, the markets are really strange with how they act and how they move. It's not logical. It's just insanity. But I want to talk about something else affecting the markets big time this morning, and that is the Boeing whistleblower story that I covered last night. I released a video or two. If you missed it, you can go watch that and share it. And if you have anything on the topic, maybe you're in aerospace, you have experience, you know people in aerospace, you could get in touch with me. My email is available on YouTube, and in the comments for my video I posted yesterday, I put my email in there, so you can find it there. I could put it in the chat. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can provide it if anybody wants it. Reach out to me on X, etc. If you have information on this or your experiences, and you can be anonymous or whatever. It's totally cool. But we have a lot of information coming out as it relates to Boeing. We had a whistleblower that was currently dealing with a lawsuit with Boeing. He retired a few years ago and had had brought up a bunch of quality issues. And let's pull the story up here. So here we go. Here's the full deets of this. His name's Josh Barnett. May he rest in peace, because he's passed away on the 8th or the 7th. Sorry, I think it was the, I guess let me pull this source up so I can get the exact date right. Looks like, well, so he was discovered with a fatal gunshot wound in his car just after he had a conversation with lawyers and was dealing with this case and was about to have more meetings involving this case. So he passed on March 9th. And the police were investigating. BBC released an article on this, and they talk about all of the different things that he had brought to light. Some of the things were substandard parts being fitted to aircraft, and he says this was due to workers being under pressure, and that was one of the concerns he brought up. He talked about an oxygen system problem where only a quarter of the he estimated that only a quarter of the oxygen systems that would be deployed in the case of an emergency would be functional. He reported compromised safety due to rushed assembly, so just the general assembly of the planes. And he worked, I think he worked on 787s. Yeah, he worked on the Dreamliner in North Charleston. And just so you know, since 2010, that's what he did. So that's what we're talking about in these reports of these quality issues. He also said that traceability of components were not followed per the required company standards, causing defective components to go missing. He says that parts that were used in the assembly that were previously deemed scrap, parts that were used in the assembly were previously just declared scrap, and this was done in order to prevent delays on the production line. Again, another pressure thing that he alleged, and he says that he alerted managers and it didn't result in any actions. So this was what was this lawsuit was about, and he has apparently taken his own life in a lot of people are pointing out very suspicious circumstances, and it's really causing a lot of ripples through the aerospace industry right now. And that's not the only thing. I do this series called A Nation in Decline, where I look at how our country is falling apart at the seams, especially in the big cities. And I think this is part of that. A Nation in Decline, aerospace. I think that a lot of company policies over the recent years, maybe 5 or 10 years, have led to what we're seeing now. And that is plane tires falling off from planes taking off. We saw other things. Let me go over to this. We also saw fuel apparently leaking out of a plane as it took off. And here's the video of that. My goodness, just all these issues coming to light day after day. They say that you can see fuel coming out of the landing gear here. Let's see if we could get a little better quality here. But yeah, you can kind of see a little stream behind those tires. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me give you a better visual here. You could kind of see a little bit of a thing going on. A little bit of smoke. Yeah. So I don't know if it's smoke or if it's fuel or what, but that was a United Airlines flight 830 from Sydney to San Francisco. It took off with fuel coming out of the rear landing gear, according to this Twitter account. It says the plane turned around and landed safely back in Sydney. What is going on? And then also we have a video that was released here of the whistleblower, John Barnett. And let's go ahead and listen to what he says in this interview with TMZ.
One, this is not a 737 problem. It's a Boeing problem. And I know the FAA's gone in and they've done due diligence and inspections to assure that the door plugs of the 737 are installed properly and the fasteners are torqued properly. But my concern is, what's the rest of the airplane? What's the rest of the condition of the airplane? And the reason my concern for that is back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. So what we're seeing with the door plug blowout is what I've seen with the rest of the airplane, as far as jobs not being completed properly, inspection steps being removed, issues being ignored. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787, because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added. So those two programs have really put a strong effort into removing quality from the process. When I first started working at Charleston, I was in charge with pushing back defects to our suppliers. And what that meant was I'd take a group of inspectors and actually go to the supplier and inspect their product before they sent it in. Well, I'd taken a team of 4 inspectors to Spirit Aerosystems to inspect the 41 section before they sent it to Charleston. And we found 300 defects. Some of them were significant that needed engineering intervention. When I returned to Charleston, my senior manager told me we had found too many defects and he was going to take the next trip. So the next trip he went on, he took 2 of my inspectors. And when they got back, they were given accolades for only finding 50 defects. So I pulled that inspector aside and I said, did Spirit really clean up their act that quick? That don't sound right. And she was mad. She said, no, said the 2 inspectors were given 2 hours to inspect the whole 41 section and they were kicked off the airplane.
Yeah, good point, Gret. The world is upside down. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is something to behold, man. It is not good. But yeah, here in that video, that is John Barnett, who was found dead in his truck just before continuing on working this case with Boeing in an apparent suicide. He said that his inspection found a lot of quality issues. A later inspection that was taken over by another person was they didn't have enough time allotted and they found not as many issues, and they were praised, and they basically were cutting corners in their quality process, seemingly to not have any holdups, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, a situation in aerospace that was probably more common than anybody would like to admit. And it's not just Boeing. It's not just this. I think that a lot of companies and a lot of industries have similar issues. We have Christy Beck saying that there's issues like this in quality issues in the locomotive and auto electrical industry here. So kind of interesting. Thank you, Christy. Just a really, really horrible situation that we saw and that we're seeing unfold. Hopefully we see more information with this police investigation. It needs to be extremely thorough. I mean, if this just fizzles away in the wind, that's not good. This needs to be addressed. And I think that it's going to cause a lot of quality teams in the US and abroad. I think that they're going to be coming together and really buckling down and telling everybody, like, you know, reminding everybody about ethics and everything else, because right now the last thing any company wants is another whistleblower, right? I could tell you that. So I would expect something like that to be occurring. And y'all, this is crazy. So let's see what else we got here. This is part of this whole horrible situation. By the way, Boeing stock's down this morning. Let's take a quick look at what it's at. BA. And it's because of all these quality issues. The Boeing company is down just over 4% this morning. taking a huge dive down the last couple days, 2 big steps down. They've lost almost 10%, right, since March 7th. Whew. And this is a result of which they don't mention this, right? This isn't actually mentioned. They don't talk so much about this, but they are talking about all the other quality issues that are coming up. This story here of this whistleblower, John Barnett, somehow gets left kind of pushed in the back. They don't really talk about that, but they are talking about this. And that is FAA audit of Boeing's 737 production found mechanics using hotel card and dish soap as makeshift tools, according to a report. And the New York Post writes that the the Federal Aviation Administration found dozens of issues throughout Boeing 737 MAX jet production process, including mechanics at one of its key suppliers using a hotel key card and dish soap as makeshift tools to test compliance, according to a report. The FAA discovered unacceptable quality control issues during an audit of Boeing and supplier Spirit Aerosystems that was launched after a door plug flew off a 737 MAX 9 at 16,000 feet on January 5th. Wow. So when there's a quality incident, the FAA comes in and they do an audit, and they found a lot of problems. This is the fuselage plug area of Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, which was forced to make an emergency landing with a gap in the fuselage. Okay, and we're lucky nobody was hurt in this incident. I believe it did take out part of that chair sucked out of the plane. Nobody was sitting there, luckily. And there it is, on the floor. I mean, on the ground, on Earth. So onward here, it says that Boeing failed 33 out of 89 product audits, a review of specific aspects in the production line with a total of 97 counts of alleged noncompliance, the auditors found, according to the newspaper. Spirit Aerosystems, which makes the body of the 737 MAX jets, failed 7 out of 13 product audits conducted by the FAA, the publication reported. One of its failures dealt with the installation of the plane's door plug. Imagine that. Boeing failed 33 out of 89 product audits with a total of 97 counts of alleged noncompliance. Here's their factory. The FAA did not release its findings to the public, according to Reuters. It says, quote, some of the most shocking details from the presentation happened at Spirit Aerosystems fuselage manufacturing plant in Wichita, Kansas. FAA auditors spotted mechanics from the company using a hotel key card to check the seal on a door in one instance, and witnessed the other Spirit mechanics applying Dawn liquid soap to a door seal as a lubricant to the fit-up process, the Times reported. In the latter incident, the mechanics used wet cheesecloth to wipe away the dish soap and clean the door seal. Oh my gosh. Oof. The document detailing the audit findings obtained by the outlet said the instructions provided to mechanics were vague and unclear on what specifications and actions are to be followed or recorded by the mechanic. A spokesman for Spirit Aerosystems, which Boeing is in talks to reacquire, told the Times that the company is reviewing all identified nonconformities for corrective action. So they are working on fixing all the issues identified, which, let me just say this, almost 100 things identified. This problem is so large, this is just my suspicions, that this problem is so big in this case, and probably in other companies' cases too, that it's not something that they're going to implement solutions today and it'll be good tomorrow. This is going to require an overhaul of a bunch of internal documentation, training of all the employees, the acquisition of tools that are needed. You know, they probably need some kind of thickness gauge instead of a credit card. They probably need they need to rethink everything and make sure that they have the tools. And also, how much longer are these inspections and quality things going to take with all this stuff implemented? So are they going to have to hire more people and train them? It's a big problem. It's huge. It's a long-term problem. It's very concerning. And I'm surprised that that larger actions aren't taken by the FAA. Like, honestly, this is serious. I mean, it's all kind of like not that big of a deal to people until we have a major incident. I mean, this is a big concern. A lot of people, I was asking them on YouTube. I ran a poll here and I asked people how do you feel about flying now? And let me go and pull this up and let me know how you guys feel about flying now as well. Compared to years prior. Are you confident in airlines? Is this a little concerning to you? Do you fly a lot? Are you happy with it? You don't care, whatever. Let me know, because my general consensus that I'm getting is people are more hesitant now than ever to fly because of the constant onslaught of quality issues in aerospace. Let me go here to my channel and check out this poll. I haven't checked it this morning. So I asked, describe your level of confidence in air travel over time. I feel safer now than I did in prior years. I feel less safe now than I did in prior years. Same as always. I trust flying. Same as always. I won't fly. I have 4% of people saying they feel safer now. And I've got 54 people that listen voting. 61% said they feel less safe now than they did in prior years. 7% says they feel the same, and 28% of people say they won't fly. And that's just a small sample of you all. So thank you for participating in that poll. But still, small sample, 61% say they feel less safe now. That's a lot. Wow. Debbie says, I won't fly now. I won't even travel. I am very hesitant to fly now too. And it's unfortunate because traveling is wonderful. Traveling is absolutely wonderful. But and let me say this though, I'm not trying to scare anybody from flying. If you look at the statistics, flying statistically is safer than driving still, and all that, right? So we still should be rational. If you have to travel for work or this, most likely it'll be fine, statistically speaking. And so that's a fact, just so you know. But it does seem like there's a huge increase of quality issues, especially looking at a report like this. That is quite alarming and concerning, man. This is wild. So let's see what else we got here. That's a big one, man. And people are saying it's another Epstein situation, like this guy did not kill himself and all this. But like I said, I really hope there's an investigation that's very, very, very thorough and we hear more information. I want every detail of this. And I hope it is what it seems at face value, that it's just a horrible tragedy and not anything wild or uncalled for. I was listening to a space last night on X, and Grant Cardone was in there, and he said that he could imagine a large company being involved maliciously with something like this in order to protect their business. And I was just like, wow, really? Dang. He just came out and said it. And I think a lot of people are kind of on the same page with what I've been seeing online. Just a horrible situation in this wild, wacky world. Let's move on. I want to talk more about finance. I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about the world news. So we're going to move on. But if you guys are in aerospace or in quality or anything like that, and you want to reach out to me, you can get my email. Actually, why don't I go ahead and pull that up and put it in the chat right now? If you want to reach out to me anonymously, you can. I've got a encrypted email here. You could reach out and let me know your experiences. Let me know what's going on. Let me know, did you guys have like some quality meetings lately where they go over ethics and they go over the quality expectations? Is this being talked about in your company? I'm curious to know all this stuff. So if you don't mind and you want to let me know your story, and if I could share it anonymously, my email here is riseandgrindwvince@proton.me. And you could contact me there. It's also on YouTube you can find it on my YouTube page somewhere. So, but I'll put it in the live chats here in case anybody wants it. So, we're going to move onward here. And you could contact me there for other things as well, right? And that's what it's for. So I appreciate all of you who reach out and give me various information or feedback. Thank you very much. Okay, so oh gosh, did I really? Oh no, we're good. Okay, here we go. Let's move on here and talk a little bit about finance. First, we've got U.S. Airlines warning of more Boeing delivery delays due to this safety crisis. And the U.S. carrier warned on Tuesday that their plans to increase capacity were in doubt due to jet delivery delays from Boeing as the hit to the airline industry from the plane maker's safety crisis worsens. So that was reported this morning on Yahoo Finance. My goodness. So this is delaying production, and that is probably a good thing, not a good thing for shareholders, though. Yeah, and this is because of all these quality issues. They're probably stopping and taking a look at everything, and they need to do something. They need to, man, this is going to be a rough time for airlines, I think, over the next months and years. United Airlines shares lost about 3.5% as of the writing of this article, and Boeing shares were down 4%, as we discussed. Wow. United's Kirby said on Tuesday that, quote, "It is impossible to say when the MAX 10 is going to get certified." So yeah, United Airlines has told Boeing to stop building 737 MAX 10 jets for the carrier, according to Bloomberg. Yeah. United Airlines has told Boeing to stop building the 737 MAX 10 jets for the carrier, according to Bloomberg. Wow. Yeah. Wow. In other news, Kohl's joins department store retailers in a warn of weak 2024 growth. We're expecting some more data from Kohl's here this week, I think today, and they're saying it's not going to be good. It's not good. So there's Kohl's department store. Not surprised. Brick and mortar is really taking a hit, isn't it? A lot of people are like, it's all by design. And you have to wonder. I mean, it seems like it is, right? With all the stuff contributing to this decline. Consumer prices rise more than forecasted as inflation pressures persist. I briefly mentioned that earlier. This was interesting. Apparently, Rumble wants to buy and operate TikTok in the United States, as we're seeing some struggle with TikTok, with censorship and government control, and the bill that I think wants to get passed here. But let's see. Rumble wants to buy and operate TikTok in the U.S. They put out this message here. Rumble Incorporated, Mr. Shuzi Chu, the CEO. Dear Mr. Chu, I'm sorry, this is from Chris Pavlovsky. And he says, "Dear Mr. Chu, in the event that ByteDance divests its ownership in TikTok, Rumble is ready to join a consortium with other parties seeking to acquire and operate TikTok inside the United States. Specifically, we are ready to serve as a cloud technology partner. Yesterday, Rumble announced the public launch of Rumble Cloud, a new infrastructure as a service offering that champions the free and open internet. All data on Rumble Cloud is stored safely and securely at sites inside the United States on Rumble's own neutral and independent infrastructure. Additional information. Rumble's offer to serve as a partner to a consortium to acquire and operate TikTok is subject to negotiation of a definitive agreement. Sincerely, Chris Pavlovsky." So yeah, I wonder who else wants to buy TikTok. We could see some movements there, but they're definitely putting their foot in the door and just saying, hey, we're here just in case, guys. So interesting. We'll watch that. Elon Musk came out and had something to say about this TikTok situation, the TikTok bill. Elon Musk warned that the TikTok bill is not just about TikTok. It's about censorship and government control. Somebody commented with a snip of the bill. And they said here, the term foreign adversary controlled application means a website. So basically implying here that the bill will apply to websites in general. It says here in one section 1A, providing services to distribute, maintain, or update such a foreign adversary-controlled application, including any source code of such application by means of a marketplace, including an online mobile application store, through which users within the land or maritime border of the United States may access, maintain, or update such application, providing internet hosting services as well. So it's a very broad situation, is kind of what people are trying to say here, including Elon Musk, and that this bill wouldn't just affect TikTok, but it would be something that would overlook the internet at large, as I just read there. So TikTok is against it, obviously, and is telling all of its users to call who they need in order to prevent this thing from passing. But it goes beyond that. Gosh, I think I hope the Constitution holds up here, and I know there are concerns with China and whatnot and TikTok, but yeah, it's a tricky situation. Let's hope it shakes out favorably for humanity. Thank you, Lisa, for the donation for ice cream. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate that. Good to see you this morning. Okie dokie. Let me move to the chats here. What do we got? Gret says no more flights when 15-minute cities start to rise. Yeah, I mean, they do want these 15-minute city situations. I would expect there to be some amount of air travel, but I think for the general public, like right now, and anybody can fly, or a lot of people fly every day, maybe that will be reduced. Oh, but I think we'll maintain some sort of infrastructure there, right? Oh. So let's see here. Onward. Kai says, I hope people hold up the Constitution. Me too. In other news here, we've got the China's technology giant Xiaomi has started electric car sales. So we'll keep our eye on how they're performing in a competitor to Tesla. Let's see here. The United States is preparing a $400 million weapons package for Ukraine, according to U.S. officials. Reuters reported on this. Yeah, amidst all of this stuff, we're still preparing packages to send to Ukraine. Onward. This is big news for Bitcoin here. The London Stock Exchange said it will start accepting applications for the admission of exchange-traded notes backed by Bitcoin and Ether. So this is going to contribute to a higher trading volume of Bitcoin and whatnot. The London Stock Exchange. So when this starts, this will contribute to more action. So that was an interesting story there, reported by Unusual Whales on X.com. Gret, let's hear what you have to say here. We can blame the puppet master all we want. It was Americans at the door, not letting people in if they didn't have a mask. Interesting. That's a good point. Everybody plays their part in this world. Canadian, let's see here. Oh my gosh, let's get out of finance here. This story is quite alarming. Canadian law would allow judges to hand down life sentences for speech crimes. What? It says here, no, this isn't a joke. And this was written by not the bee.com. And this is what they're saying. Oh, Canada. Queen Justine of Canada has just decided that his seemingly limitless power to impose his will and ideology on Canadians isn't enough. A new hate speech law in Canada, billed as protection of children, would criminalize speech in Canada to even a greater degree and allow judges to imprison people for life. For life. Michael Schellenberger reported on X, a new hate speech law is required to protect children online, says Canada Justin Trudeau. But it's not. Harming kids is already illegal. And now Trudeau's government has confirmed to public that the law would allow judges to send people to prison for speech crimes for life. Canada. And don't think like, oh, don't worry, that's just Canada. All right. Canada's just a hop, skip, jumping away. Okay. The law, it says here that the law as it is currently being presented is redundant of other Canadian laws designed to protect kids online, something that everyone should support. However, there's language in that law, that makes it clear that this is a Trojan horse of sorts for extreme government overreach. And they go into the details of that. Oh, my goodness. What is going on in this world? Ooh-wee. Thank you, Lisa. And I want to stop real quick and give a shout out to all the people who subscribed recently this week. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, and I'm glad to have you. So thank you all for your support, and all the people who make this part of their daily routine to get the news and events of the day every morning. Thank you all so much for your support. I really do appreciate that. And we're going to get onward with it. Lots to cover. Let's see here. Austin is at the brink of disaster as a police shortage hits crisis level. God help us all. Fox News reports on this, and they go into why this is happening. Well, do you remember when they were defunding the police in 2020 and all this and that? Yeah, that's the problem. It's not just Austin. A lot of places are having shortages and whatnot. So just a reminder, a nation in decline, the situation with police shortages is real. Gosh, what a time to be a police officer. Shout out to all of the people in uniform out there that are contributing to society in a huge way in such hard times, man. They really do deserve a lot of credit, the people that are stepping up and continuing to do that. Yeah. So, of course, the border's open. They say it's not, but it is. We've got this clip that I saw posted by Media Research Center on X.com, and it's of DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas bragging to MSNBC about ending nearly all of Trump's immigration policies. Of course, this is like totally denied now. Yeah, good job, Kai. Sticks and stones break bones, but words get you life sentences? Oh, did I not have sound on that? Oh, gosh. Thank you, Gret. Let me fix that real quick, and we'll listen to that clip one more time, and then we will move on here. My bad. Thank you, Gret.
Understand from you what Trump-era immigration policies have been banned, ended, reversed, and if any investigations are underway by you.
So we have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
Yeah, we've rescinded so many, it would take so much time to list them. Wow, just to highlight how great job we did. Except now we don't want to talk about it. Now it didn't happen, right? This video is no longer available, but Wall Street Silver said that British farmers announced the biggest protest yet to take place in Parliament Square, London, March 25th at 6 p.m. More farmer social destabilization and protesting here expected. British farmers, the biggest protest. We've already seen a large farmer protests in Europe, and it's about to get cooking again here. We'll definitely keep our eye on that and be reporting as it develops in a week and a half, or a week and a half. Wow. Yes, he did. Yes, he did get impeached. Yes, he did, Gret. All right. The Fannie Willis case, let's talk about it. Conservative Brief wrote a little article. They said that the Fannie Willis case against Trump is dead after courtroom revelation, and this is exactly what I expected. They say here that it said here that it says, quote, "Don't let the legalese fool you." This is Polisi, who frequently appears on CNN and MSNBC, by the way, which you'd expect them to maybe, say that everything's good. Trump's going to prison, right? That's the whole thing. They always say, Trump's going to prison. We got him this time. But maybe not, because they're starting to change their tune. So Polisi says, don't let the legalese fool you. This is epic. This is monumental. If things are going in the direction we think, Fani Willis lied in court. And it's a game change. It's a game over for her. She will be disqualified. If they had a relationship before, when they represented the truth to the court, it's a huge deal. I can't overstate. Talking about the apparent lies that were let out under oath that are currently ripping this case apart. So we'll see this probably get dropped, and maybe more. Maybe they'll go further, and we'll see. Hey, Light Spear, thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Thank you for and thank you, Trash Man. Good to see you as well. Okay, onward. Gosh, Fani Willis, we'll keep an eye on that. But that is with the Georgia election interference case as it relates to Trump. And yeah, nothing burger. Believe it. Yep, believe it or not. Oh my goodness. So this was just in this morning. Biden forgot his son Beau died, and when Trump was elected, a damning transcript reveals, according to the Daily Mail. My goodness. Let's see. I want to see that article. Well, I don't have the link here in front of me. Let me pull it up real quick. I thought I had one here. No, I don't. What's up with that? Daily Mail, Biden forgot when his son Beau died. Come on, give me the link, folks. What's wrong? What's wrong here? Bear with me. Here we go. Thank you. Technofog put out the entire transcripts. Good. Technofog's on it. All right. Gosh, this isn't even the right link. Gosh, I apologize for my unpreparedness in this. I thought I had the original link here. Technofog. I haven't seen his post in a long time. I wonder why. I should turn on my alerts for him. But Technofog is a great follow. Thank you, Gret. Yeah, I am following. Let me turn my alerts on. Let me see. So, Supreme Court rejects effort to remove Trump from the ballot. Ooh, interesting. That's March 4th. Technofog didn't post it. I don't see it. All right. But I was reading this morning that there were a bunch of accounts where Biden's just saying, like, I don't know. He said, I don't know, like 100 times. I don't remember. And he didn't know when Trump was elected, all this stuff. Oh, on Telegram, Gret says. Oh, interesting. Great. Daily Mail. Let's see if we could pull up their little analysis. Here we are. It says here from the Daily Mail, according to the transcript of the 2-day interview reviewed by dailymail.com, Biden brought up Beau's death. The mix of Beau's death date during the mix-up of Beau's death date during the interview directly contradicts Biden's fiery denial that it ever occurred. Oh my gosh. He was often confused by the dates. He served as vice president and how classified documents ended up in his home. Hers is devastating. Classified documents report painted Biden as an elderly and forgetful and with diminished faculties. Wow. So I believe it. I absolutely believe it. They have some old pictures of Joe here. Yeah, he definitely looks different now. Here's former special counsel Robert Hur. He says he will give high-stakes testimony on Capitol Hill on Tuesday on his devastating classified documents report. So more to come on this. And here's a quote. How the hell dare he raise that? Biden fumed during the spontaneous conference when asked about how Beau's death came up. Yeah, frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Oh, man. This is elderly abuse, man. They need to just let Joe retire. That's my opinion. Oh, Kai says he's acting like a person about to pass from old age. It's so sad. And I know, like, I have compassion for any person, right? Just regardless of who they are. But to me, it is sad, regardless of who it is. Thank you, Forrest. Maybe that's the plan, Kai. I mean, so then Kamala would become president. That would be something. Hypothetically. So I'm going to try to get my hands on that report here, and we'll be hearing more on this very soon. I may do a show on this exclusively tonight. So make sure you hit that notification bell, and so you know when that stuff comes out. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for stopping by. All right, y'all. Onward. Yesterday we had Biden turning and asking his staff if he was allowed to take questions, and another display of ridiculousness by the sitting U.S. president. And we had House Speaker Mike Johnson rejected a $7.3 trillion budget proposal for 2025. Good on Johnson. I don't know what was in that proposal, but I think it's a good sign. But with that said, I don't have a lot of confidence in Mike Johnson. I think that he has like a fly like Pence had. What do you guys think? Do you like Mike Johnson? I think that he could do better. I'm a little bit concerned with a little bit with what he does. A little bit, yeah. No, a little bit. Moving on, let's talk about this. The U.S. is now in another proxy war with Haiti, and this is Canary's Blue Opinion, or Blue Canaries on X.com. So they pointed this out, that the middle of the night operation was conducted via helicopter by the U.S. military at the request of the State Department. The U.S. Southern Command said in a statement, this was a Kenyan-led mission in Haiti. Okay, there was an operation in the middle of the night. U.S. military was involved. This is reported by kahawatungu.com. And it details this. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki Monday disclosed that the Kenyan-led Haiti mission is in the pre-deployment stage. Wow. Thank you, Blue Canaries, for pointing this out. And meanwhile, Blinken comes out and says the U.S. is to give $133 million for the crisis-hit Haiti, which, by the way, it's faced right now with huge amounts of social unrest. Yes, Kai, cannibal gangs, and cannibal, it's in quotes there, but no, literally cannibal gangs. This really happening. It's not good. It's wild situation happening, and just more global destabilization, and it looks like they're getting ready to get some elections. I had another bit of information here that they're going to be holding elections here. Let me see, where's that at? They're going to be holding elections. Yeah, here we go. Exiled prime minister announces plan to resign as gang boss barbecue declares a bloody revolution. So, yes, revolution in Haiti. Breitbart reported this. My gosh, here's the article. Yes, Kai, wow. Literally cannibal gangs. The Prime Minister of Haiti, Ariel Henry, announced on Monday night he would resign immediately after the creation of a presidential transitional council meant to take steps towards organizing a presidential election. His announcement followed the near total collapse of the country's political infrastructure this week after he traveled to Kenya seeking law enforcement aid to subdue the increasingly powerful gangs overrunning the country. Ooh. Wow. Really? That wasn't on my bingo card. Cannibal gangs. Oh my gosh. I saw somebody on X making a joke. They're like, if all these gangs, if all these criminals somehow make it, across the border or whatever, make sure that you use the proper terminology, and they're not cannibals. They're not illegal cannibals. What do they say? They're undocumented carnivores. Yeah, they're undocumented carnivores. Oh my gosh, not funny. Really, really crazy story, that one. CDC. All right, let's talk a little bit about health and a couple little reminders, and then we'll close for the day. Actually, I skipped a bunch of stuff here. Let me backtrack a little bit. I don't know what is wrong with me this morning. I apologize. We've got a couple more. We've got a lot, actually, to still go through, and we will. We're going to go a little late today, I think. A lot of bad things need to pass before it gets better. Unfortunately, Gret says, yeah, walk through the dark to get to the light. I think there's something to that. Yeah. And I think things are going to get worse before they get better, just based on the current trajectory, unfortunately. Kai says it's about to get as bad as you can imagine there. Well, I hope they are able to shape up here ASAP. But with this kind of destabilization, who knows who's going to get into power there, right? Thinks it has to get far worse yet too. My gosh. And maybe you're right, and the following stories certainly support that kind of idea here. U.S. intelligence, this is First Squawk on X reporting this, that the U.S. intelligence agencies say the U.S. faces increasingly fragile world order, strained by great power competition, transitional challenges, regional conflicts. Increasingly fragile world order? Yeah, this is the increasingly fragile world order that leads to a new world order. The World Economic Forum has predicted their war game scenario Cyber Polygon will occur before 2025. Don't forget that one. Yeah, Cyber Polygon. It is a hypothetical event where cyber attacks affect the entire globe, and they say that this is likely to happen before 2025. And boy, does it seem like they're right. France and Estonia state agencies have been hit by intense cyber attacks that we saw. This was reported by Zero Hedge on Monday. The government of France said several of its agencies were hit by intense cyber attacks. Many ministerial services were targeted from Sunday using familiar technical means, but of unprecedented intensity. So there we go. We also saw outages in the U.S. over the past few weeks as well, with AT&T, which they say was nothing to do with hacking, and Facebook, which I don't even know what they said the reason for that was last week, and a lot of other companies at the same time. Just coincidences. That's the narrative. It's coincidences. Yeah, so we've got France with their cyber attacks. I thought I had something else on that. Let me just move on here. With Putin's facing increased drone strikes in Russia. Shaking the hornet's nest over there even further with that conflict. And Russian media reports are saying that there's a missile danger declared in the Voronezh region. So things are kind of heating up in Russia. That's my main point with these headlines. And we've got France. Apparently France came out according to this article published a couple days ago, and it was shared by a Canadian prepper. There's no source here. Let me see if I can find a source of this, but a Canadian prepper posted a headline, and it says, France asks Arab countries to return weapons and ammunition previously purchased from Paris. Let's see here. The inteldrop.org. Usually he does pretty good research and figures this stuff out. I don't know why he wouldn't post the actual link. That really is annoying. It says here, France set an official request to Arab countries for the return of most of the weapons and ammunition previously purchased from Paris. The Fifth Republic is going to transfer this military equipment and artillery shells to Ukraine. In addition, Paris is postponing the sale of 155mm artillery ammunition to Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and is considering the possibility of transferring its Leclerc battle tanks to Kiev, whatever. Wow. So let's see here. The Intel drop. Is this a real website or a BS website? It seems like a real doomsday website. I'm not going to give you guys that story there, but I think this, I'm going to have to do more research. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt for now. But yes. So this is the thing with this information coming out about these conflicts, the war in over there with Russia and Ukraine, even other information around the world. Information's scarce. You have information coming from both sides, and then you have it being interpreted by everybody else. So be diligent. Don't listen to me. Listen to everything at your fingertips, okay? And also, if you find stuff, and I appreciate you sharing it with me, or if I get something wrong, let me know. I will come and I will correct myself, and I am always trying to learn and grow. That's kind of why I do this show. I like to know what's going on in the world, and I just want to share that time I take every day in doing that for myself and share it with you guys. So you don't have to go scavenge through 100,000 things on the internet just to figure out kind of what's going on in the world. But so yeah, please share, participate, enjoy it, all that stuff. And be careful, man. I mean, the information is tricky these days. Okay, onward. We'll stop with all that world to doom and gloom, World War III. I still have hope. Can't lose hope, man. I think that things, although they may get worse, eventually will turn a corner, right? You've got ups and downs. You've got yin and yang. You've got up and down, dark and light. You've got duality. And I think we're just in a little downswing, a big downswing. And eventually things are going to level out, hopefully maintain a kind of better level overall. But I think the potential is there. A lot of people are aware of what's going on. A lot of people know what they want. And that is similarity between humans across the board, whether you're over here politically, over here politically, over here, you don't want anything to do with politics, whatever it is, everybody wants the same thing. They want to be healthy. They want to be happy. They want freedom, and they want the same thing for their families and friends. And they just want to live life. They just want to experience this whole weird, grand experience. Okay, that's it. So as soon as everybody realizes that and is able to kind of figure out the commonalities, come together and make things happen in an ethical and great way, I think we'll maybe see things turn up a little bit. But boy, are there evil forces at work in this world right now. So let's all do our part. Share a little bit of positivity and do your part in your communities, etc., to do well. Let's take a quick look at a couple health things. Kai says, this is one of my many stops. Yeah, that's good. Get the information from wherever and everywhere, because good information is hard to come by, especially if you're flipping on the TV, it seems. CDC warns thousands of children sent to the ER after taking a common sleep aid. Zero Hedge reported this. Ooh, a highlight of modern medicine that is a hard pill to swallow, no pun intended. The U.S. Centers of Disease Control paper released Thursday found that thousands of young children have been taken to the emergency room over the past several years after taking the very common sleep aid supplement, melatonin. What? Zero Hedge reported on this. Melatonin is a hormone produced by the human body to regulate its sleep cycle. Supplements, which are sold in a number of different formulas, are generally taken before falling asleep and are popular among people suffering from insomnia, jet lag, chronic pain, and other problems. It says here the supplement isn't regulated by the US FDA and does not require child-resistant packaging. However, a number of supplement companies include caps or lids that are difficult for children to open. I wonder if this is from a normal dosage or an overdosage. Yeah, there's no established threshold for a melatonin overdose, officials have said. Most adult melatonin supplements contain a maximum of 10 milligrams of melatonin per serving, and some contain less. Many can tolerate more. But this is concerning. I mean, anything is bad, even something as seemingly harmless as melatonin. I don't take melatonin. I just deal with it when I can't sleep. I don't sleep. And that's probably more often than not. Sleeping is very, very, very important. Kai says so much clickbait out there. Yeah, absolutely. Even this, it's like, so whenever I find a story, I'm like, who benefits from it? What are they saying? What do they have to back it up? Are there other sources saying it? And who are those sources? And who benefits from that? And I ask myself all these questions and look at this because it seems like everything is targeted with some kind of spin or some kind of narrative. Even medicine, even health. We saw a bunch of studies being retracted in unprecedented numbers. This means they release these studies, they're quoted, all these articles are written, and they pull them back and say, bad study. Sorry. Yeah, we made a mistake. That's not actually real. That's not true. So yeah, I mean, things that seem legit oftentimes may not be. Oh my gosh, Mike. I kicked my wife in the back 2 days ago when dreaming on melatonin. I was fighting the Viet Cong. Thanks for sharing, Mike. That's hilarious. Good to see you. So yeah, we got to be really critical with any information that we're looking at. That's all. All right. And one last reminder on the health front, this is something I need to remind myself about, just being healthy, right? Making healthy choices with diet, making healthy choices with not sitting on your ass all day or my ass all day. And I'm projecting my problems onto all of you, but I think you could relate. It's important to keep our bodies moving. It's important to ingest healthy things. And it's important to make sure that things like vitamin D are at good levels in our systems. Let's just listen to this quick clip about vitamin D. Let me make sure I get my sound. Gosh, it's not my first rodeo, but
insufficient, and that leads to depression. Probably 80% of us are deficient or insufficient, and that leads to depression. It leads to increase for Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, cancer. So many different things. And I think, there's been mixed data about where placing it, fixing it or not. And I think it's complicated because when you're people are eating, garbage and they throw vitamin D in there, it's not going to help them.
Yes, correct.
If they're not exercising, they're smoking, they're drinking a lot, they're eating crap. You take a vitamin D, it's not going to do anything. But if in all things being equal, people who are low in vitamin D have higher risk of this. And if you clean up your lifestyle and you're still low vitamin D, it'll make a big difference.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up context, because one thing that very few people know, you could be spending as much time in the sun as you want, frolicking all day, in the beautiful warming rays of the sun, or even supplementing with vitamin D. But if you're not getting adequate magnesium in your diet, which 50% of the population does not get adequate magnesium, the enzymes that convert the vitamin D that your skin creates into its active hormone form in the body, all are magnesium dependent.
Yeah.
And magnesium, half of us don't consume adequate magnesium. It's found in dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, almonds.
Yeah.
And
a lot of things cause us to lose magnesium: stress, coffee, alcohol, sugar, caffeine, all those things we love.
Gosh, and I love this analysis. They go on to talk about that magnesium has some anti-aging attributes as well, they say. So boy, are they true. Health is it's such a dynamic curiosity, and it's very complex. One thing needs another in order to be properly utilized in the body, and this affects that and the other. Oh my gosh. So make sure, do your due diligence, talk to the healthcare professionals, and make sure you get one with their head screwed on right, and take care of your health. Just do that for yourself. Do that for, everybody. Let's all get on the same page there. That definitely helps with that. This world is so messed up when it comes to the things on our shelves, right? We go to the grocery store and majority of that stuff, not so great. It's not so great. It's actually, a lot of it's very, very bad in my opinion. So it's a hard time to be healthy in the world. This is why we have such a huge obesity problem in the world now. Yes. Anyway, just something to keep in our mind. Yes, Black Jester, there's a lot. Yeah, get some magnesium if you'd like. Do your research. Make sure you listen to the professionals, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not even anything. I'm not an expert on finance. I'm not an expert on world events. I'm just here to share a couple things with you, start conversation, and give you my thoughts. But yeah, Princess Lee 8 says vitamin D is the number one thing lacking in people. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? So you know how plants do photosynthesis, they do that process, whatever. We do that same thing kind of with vitamin D. And this is just, maybe I'm totally wrong on this. This is just how I think about it in my head because I read some stuff. Basically, when you go out in the sun, your skin gets hit with the sunlight, and then something in there makes you create vitamin D from the sunlight. So you turn sunlight into vitamin D, and then once you reach certain levels, you stop. Your body just knows, like, oh, I have a lot. I'm, topped out on vitamin D, because you actually can overdose vitamin D. Like if you orally take them, then it could be dangerous if you take too much. Just like anything, you could drink too much. You can overdose on water, right? You can drink too much water. That's a danger that people have died from. But yeah, the body just knows, like, oh, I'm reaching those levels. I'm just going to stop producing. I'm just going to stop converting sunlight into vitamin D now. What? It's just crazy. Our bodies, biology, magic biology. Anyway, let's see. All right. As always, there's more as always, but I'm going to stop here and save this for more conversations for a later date. Cats make their own vitamin C? Wow. And I'm sorry to hear about your knees, Kai. I hope you get better soon. Hey, Chris Large is here. Hey, Chris. If you guys didn't, this is perfect timing, Chris. After this, in a moment, if you want to go to Chris Large's channel and watch the interview with myself and Chris, I was over there a few days ago and had a good old time. So you can check that out. Chris is a great guy. He talks about all the stuff in this wacky world as well. And he's a great guy. So go over to Chris Large's channel and check it out right after this. But so I know y'all have a lot going on. I want to thank you once again for tuning in, supporting me, hitting the thumbs up, leaving a comment after the show on your thoughts and opinions, or any tips or any feedback is greatly appreciated. If you're new, subscribing is a great thing you could do to support me. And tune into all the other shows and videos that I release outside of the daily news. If you want to support me further, aside from just watching, you could become a member on YouTube. If you go to my channel or go to the description on YouTube, you could click the link, join. For as low as $3.99, you get these VIP benefits in the chat, which I'm going to be expanding further as well. Or you could become a VIP Plus member, and that will allow you to get those prior perks, as well as you could dictate further content that I do. So if you become a VIP plus member on YouTube, you can ask me to create a video on something, and I most certainly will. And I'll create a playlist for those things. I haven't had any requests yet, so if you want to be the first, you could do that. And I'll make a playlist and we'll do those videos. And it could be on anything you'd like. If you have a hobby that you want me to talk about, if you want to understand something better, maybe you just want a quick little video about AI, you want this or that, anything, I'm happy to do it. And I think it'd be a fun little thing for us to do. So thank you all who have become members over there and have joined on YouTube. I really appreciate that. That is tremendous. And I thank you very, very much. I'll drop a link for that interview in the comments if you're interested on YouTube with the interview with Chris Large. If you want to go watch that, it's just a quick hour or so. And I appreciate you, Chris, for that. That was a lot of fun. I'll have to get you on here one of these days, anytime. Let's see. So, and I'm looking forward to it. He's going to be make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's going to have more interviews coming up that he has in the works. And so it'll be great. So enjoy. And thank you, Chris, again. Thank you all as well. Here, there's the link there, y'all, if you want to go over there and check that out. I'll put it over here on Rumble and DLive as well. Also, please follow me on x.com. I'm happy to interact with y'all over there. Follow what the heck's going on in this crazy world as it breaks. If there's something that breaks tonight, I will certainly most definitely go live. So notifications. Anyway, y'all, I got to go. I'm sure y'all got other things to watch, other things to do today as well. With that, take care. God bless and Godspeed.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
'24 may be the year of a black swan event.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."